Other interesting political news, you have the Secret Service testing the Chevrolet Corvette and Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. Now, these are some of the coolest cars. So obviously, the Cadillac, because it comes with a stick shift. It's brought to us thanks to Nico at the Drive. And they say, quote, the Secret Service is testing the Chevy Corvette and Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. The sports cars are part of a 10-vehicle package GM recently sent the U.S. Secret Service for testing and evaluation. And while I don't like the new Corvette because it's automatic only and boring as hell in that regard, it does look kind of cool in the orange there. Not too shabby. Hopefully they have a picture of Cadillac here, though. There's a cliche GM SUV, which all look alike. There's a Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, which is a marvel in engineering, one of the coolest cars out there. And if I won the lottery, that'd be at least one of the cars I'd buy. With a stick shift, obviously. It's sad to think that of all the things General Motors makes, only 2 cars are stick shift these days. The Cadillac CT4V and the CT5V. That's all that's left. They killed the Camaro. I don't know what Mary Barr's thinking. And the Corvette's been auto only for the C8 generation Corvette, which is an abomination to the Corvette. But I partially digress. Dive into the specifics of the actual article here. Again, credited to Nico at thedrive.com. They say, quote, the genre of "oh no, the president has been kidnapped" movies is sort of a dead. But back when they were popular, Channing Tatum was patriotically kicking ass on screen. There were often several chase scenes that required Secret Service agents to commandeer civilian or police vehicles in a different county and country. As it turns out, such vehicular action is actually a real possibility and therefore requires real training, which General Motors is willing to help out with. And an important part of the training is teaching young agents to drive any type of automobile, even one with a stick. Which again, the Corvette is automatic only because GM is stupid, but Cadillac does come with that option. GM donated a fleet of performance vehicles to the Secret Service James J. Rowley Training Center in Laurel, Maryland, and among them were 4 Cadillac Sport sedans, 2 CT4s, and 2 CT5s. Of those, a paired manual transmission, indicating they're Blackwing models, which is awesome. Literally the best of the best engineering GM has. It's a low bar, I know, but still really cool stuff. They say that even though they will almost certainly never be an official Secret Service vehicle with a stick, nevertheless, the agents can travel overseas to protect their VIPs. Manual transmissions are more commonplace outside the States, which they are. It's sad that they're not more common here. Now say, so they can't afford to be stopped by 3 pedals and a stick. Now this is the RTC driving instructor, Mark Armstrong, saying, quote, not everyone is able to operate a manual shift. Having this platform here will enable us to give instruction on how to drive manual vehicles for overseas trips, unquote. They say even sedans can be foreign to many agents. These days, police vehicles tend to be SUVs since they can carry many people and gear. But in other countries, government sedans are still commonplace, and agents need to be familiar with them. RTC instructor says, quote, most companies aren't making 4-door sedans anymore that are police capable, unquote. But GM didn't only send those caddy sedans, they provided a range of different vehicles so the agents can broaden their scope of training and learn about different platforms and how they might have to use them in the future. And more realistically, what do they do when they inevitably break because they're GM vehicles? I'm only partially kidding. Ford has had more recalls this year, 40, which is ridiculous. Now, they also dropped off a Cadillac Escalade, a Chevrolet Colorado ZR2, a police package Chevy Tahoe, Chevy Suburban, and 2 Corvettes. One was an E-Ray, which, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to justify that application. Now, granted, they got this for free. Who cares? Now, they say the big SUVs are the luckiest to join an active duty fleet, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean the other vehicles can't one day see action outside the training course. You also have Druko saying, quote, I think it'd be really cool to try out all these different platforms to figure out which is going to fit and what we can use. The times are changing, and so is the rest of the world, so we have to do the same thing. Let's see. I think you see the whole fleet of vehicles here. There you can see all the GM products that were shipped over there. Now they say, quote, is that really true, or did the Secret Service just want to blow some of his training budget on track days? They say, quote, experience with different types of vehicles help instructors teach students how to adapt their driving techniques based on the vehicles they are operating, says Scott Simmons, the special agent in charge of RTC. Because each vehicle handles differently in any given opportunity, exposure to new cars will challenge instructors and give them an opportunity to develop more realistic training scenarios. Those more unusual vehicles are also sure to surprise students, who are more likely counting on Escalades and Yukons to play the suspect vehicles in training scenarios. Instructor Brandon Bohick says, quote, these students wouldn't be expecting it. We won't have these vehicles in view, so they won't know it's out there. They may be expecting a police SUV, and all of a sudden one of these vehicles rolls up. We try to make it as realistic as possible out there, which is not always easy to do, unquote. At the end of the day, unlikely though it might be, a Secret Service agent jump into a manual Blackwing to rescue the president's daughter is not impossible. Plus, it's all made for a fun day of training, which, yeah, again, in terms of the the Blackwings, even though I love them, only 50% of them are stick shifts, which is a very high percentage. But anecdotally speaking, if you discount car shows, and again, this is very anecdotal evidence just in Texas, I think I've seen maybe 6 Cadillac Blackwings in the past couple of years. So I can't help but think that's just kind of GM maybe trying to make them smile a little bit or have some more, have a little more fun at the track. And obviously, they look at General Motors, the government contracts they get, overwhelmingly, they're the SUVs. Just like, more often than not, wherever you are locally, there's probably a 50-50 chance it's usually a GM SUV or a Ford SUV. Though I think the criminals would probably prefer the Ford since they probably inevitably break when they're trying to catch you. But I'm only partially kidding. Pretty cool to see some, fun automobiles mixed in the political news. And it will be interesting to see if there's any real orders of the sedans for government contracts. It's so rare. I think the Chevy Caprice, which was a V8, a V8 sedan for police agents, that was common for some counties and obviously state level. But in terms of government employees, we'll see. There's a lot of rumors that the new, presidential limousine will actually be the Escalade stretched out. There's a lot of speculation in that regard. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.